3 kibogo 6 kibogo 1 3
ona kana utucerere guku mucii wa Nanyuki Sogra Plaza second floor.
Captain TV mwihoko wa rucio.
Lord, you are mine.
Thaburi 138 kamuhari kemwe nigugucokeria ngatho we mwathani mbere yaku niguina nyimbo cia gukugosha.
Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness.
Oro muthenya wa Tuesday guku Captain TV kwambiriria thaa 2 cia utuku nginya thaa 4 ni kugosha Ngai proper.
Wewe ndiwe Mungu wasta.
Thiini wa worship experience oho tukaihurirwo kiugo gia kiumia tukoma pa ni thiini wa worship experience oro muthenya wa Tuesday thaa 2 cia utuku nginya thaa 4 guku Captain TV. Captain TV mwihoko wa rucio.
Tunaomba uwepo wako uende nasi, ewe Bwana wa majeshi tusikie.
Good evening. Welcome to today's show here at Captain TV. My name is Candy Celine and I'll be your host for the day. This is In Our Youth. Ama pia ukipenda ujana wetu. Leo hapa kwenye studio tutakuwa tukizungumzia yani ile ambayo tunaita young leadership. And today here in studio we have a very special guest who is going to take us through this topic. Kumbuka kwamba unaweza kuwasiliana nasi kwenye mitandao yetu ya kijamii at Captain TV. Na sasa ningependa kumwalika mgeni wetu hapa hivi aje atueleze kwa majina yake na kile ambacho anafanya. Karibu sana.
Asante sana Candy. Asante kwa kuni welcome kwa Captain TV. Mimi ni businessman in Nanyuki town, Laikipia County. And I'm not limited in Laikipia County or Nanyuki, so I still do a little bit more across the borders. Yeah, that is me. So my name's Benson Munene, or the Miles, popularly the Miles, yeah.
I feel very much welcome here at Captain TV. Now that you're talking about young leadership, I feel like you have a lot of influence here in Nanyuki town. Is that right?
I wouldn't per se say a lot, but I would say I'm getting somewhere.
So, what is your current thoughts on the governance of Nanyuki right now?
It's terrible.
Okay, and what about the country at large?
Terrible, but they should try to improve. It's like, okay, I wouldn't say like it's real terrible. It's terrible, but not real terrible. It's like when you look at them, they are doing something because at the end of the day, there's still something tangible to be seen they are doing. What they are not doing is like they are not doing it to the best. You know, they are doing it, but not to the best. You know, when we look at things, we know how they would be done or how they should be done, because we have seen like successive governments. Yeah, we have seen like the Moi government. We saw what they did. We saw Kibakis. Now we saw Uhuru's. Now we see this one. Yeah, so there's some extremes these people are doing on governance, and it's like they are bad, but. And that is what we are trying to correct. Like when you see us on the streets and all that, when you see us like saying the government is not doing, when we are trying to hold them accountable, when we are protesting, when we are like online, like trying to champion for that, that is why.
Okay, so you have mentioned something to do with protest. Yani unajua kama sisi vile ambavyo tuko vijana tumekuwa go through protest ya vijana hapa nchini. Na especially hapa Nanyuki kuna zile effects ambazo hizi protest zimefanya. Do you think kwamba ni right kwamba hawa watu wanaweza kuwa wanaweza wanaharibu yani vitu vya watu in the name of protest?
Depends with what kind of protest we are talking about. and depends with what kind of things are being destroyed or like being damaged. Like when it was like last year we had the first ever Gen Z revolution or protest ever, yeah. So there's something called personal vendetta and settling of scores, So for us, for the Gen Zs, we had like three, what do you call it, three like protests. The first one, the second one, the third one was the one that was very violent. And then we realized that there were criminals get embedding. Those are genuine criminals, because when you see like someone is coming and they are like, they have like, what we call the scissors. There's the big like, what do you call, steel cutting like scissors, People who have that and people who have like crowbars, they are people who are well prepared to go loot and steal. So they were not part of our protest, They were not part of the Gen Z thing and all that. Those are criminals, And you don't lack people like that who are opportunists, yeah.
Okay.
But for the good cause, that is one man, yeah. But when you look at it, there was the issue of farms or maybe like land, yeah. It was in the finance bill, and that was the only one. There were other things in the finance bill, yeah. So when we brought down the finance bill, and then we also brought down maybe one business or two, not we, but some people embedding, like brought down a business or two. When you are fighting for something, some bad things still happen. Even in the time of Mau Mau, in the American Revolution, in the French Revolution, like all over the world when a revolution is happening, the bad people who embed and do something bad. So at the end of the day, it is a win also. It is a win on this side, but even if something happened, people also die.
It's okay. Now, Bwana Munene, you have talked about goons coming out and like destroying people's property. It has been alleged that these goons are being funded by the government. Are you in support of that?
I wouldn't per se say the government is supporting them, and I wouldn't per se say someone else is supporting them, because we've not had like tangible evidence that they are doing it, and it is very wrong to like give me something like to be like misinforming the public and inciting them against the government, or maybe inciting them against someone else. So until we have, there's no perfect crime, because like when you do a crime, even if you did it like 30 years ago, it will still come to light. So if we wait and see what transpires, because even these goons, I know there's been goons, yeah, and like on the last time we were like on the first anniversary of the Gen Z revolution. When they came, I realized and I told people, okay, there's goons now. Because from the experience from last year, I realized what they did and what they wanted to do and how they did it. So for this one, I was very keen to see what is happening. And when it went to that direction, I would like, let us stop it. I went live on Facebook and stop it. But what I can say is you cannot like per se ascertain like they were paid by who or they were brought in by who. Okay. And if we speculate and then create some tension, you cannot go find an enemy and then you're not like cooperating with each other. You have to be like, is the enemy on this direction or this direction? So you have to do due diligence to get the enemy right.
Okay. Now, Bwana Munene, you have said here that last year's Mandamano, the 2024 finance bill protest, was for the finance bill. What is the purpose of the protests that are happening in the country in this year 2025?
So we've had two demos like in the country.
Yes, we had the 25th of June Mandamano in respect for the people we lost in last year's demonstrations. And then we had the Sabasaba demonstration. What was the objective of Sabasaba protest here in the country? Because I believe the Gen Zs went out there to protest. But I think Sabasaba is mostly for the older generations, the ones who were there when they were fighting for multi-partyism, right? So why did Gen Z go out during the Sabasaba protest?
That's a good question, but at the end of the day, Celine, you have to understand, like in Nanyuki, Gen Zs didn't come out because we talked to the Gen Zs and we decided, we talked together, Gen Zs and millennials, and we said, this is not our thing. About the Sabasaba, that is not our thing. We don't even know who called for that. We don't know what their motive was, and we also knew that there were going to be like goons and all that, because now we have something very different from our objective. Like, for our objective is like to be like millennials and Gen Zs, try to transform this country and try to communicate in a way such that even the government would want to join us, and they would want to do what we are trying to make them do. So on the larger scale in Kenya, I don't know, it is the Gen Zs also who came out for the Sabasaba and all that, but I think the older generation was more into it. So that was a political thing. So, and at the end of the day, you saw Raila Odinga talk. So I cannot say that it is Gen Z, because Raila Odinga and the Gen Zs and the millennials, we are like oil and water. We cannot like follow Raila Odinga now. We don't subscribe to his doctrine. So when he was talking, so I believe even in Nairobi, it is his very same old guard that came out for the demo. So it was not like the Gen Zs.
Benson Munene, you have just said that in Nairobi there were no protests, but there were reports of police blocking people from coming to town in Majengo and in Liki during the Sabasaba protests.
I didn't say there wasn't any protest in Nanyuki. It was there, but not in the scale that we usually have. Okay. Like when you look at the Gen Z anniversary, like that happened in the June 25th, we were like over 8,000 people on the street, around 8 to 10,000. So on this day of Sabasaba, there were around like 200 people. Those are the ones who are in who just came into town, and they were all chased by the police, and they were like, everyone was like dispersed, So and that is why they were not able to do anything. Like last year when there was the Gen Z on the streets, it was very easy even for the goons to come and loot and steal, and that is because controlling a crowd of 5,000, 10,000, that's nearly impossible for not even nearly, it is impossible, Okay. Now, and when we did this one, the anniversary. Still, even if we were able to tell our people to communicate to our Gen Zs and millennials, can you get off the street now? The bad boys are in it, the goons are in it. Can we please go? So this live on Facebook, it is like it went viral, and people are like, okay, sharing it. People are like calling their kids. People are calling their friends. Get off the town. And at the end of the day, from around 8,000, there was around 1,000 people in town. And they were able still to loot from like 3 or 4 businesses in Nanyuki town. So when you look at that anniversary and the crowd, and look at the Sabasaba and the crowd, it clearly tells you our boys, our Gen Zs and millennials were not like anywhere near that demos. Because if they were, the goons would have been able to loot and steal, because the police would have been unable to control.
There was also another protest in Liki. The other day, they were protesting against the death of a young girl in the hands of the police, Julia. What's your take on that?
My take on that is I'm always very clear on the police. Without the police, we would never be even in this studio. Without the police, people would never have their businesses. Without the police, people would never have their lives normal. There's bad people out there, so we need the police. And Celine, when you look at the police, there is like over 180,000 serving policemen. When you look at the deaths in Kenya, you get it is like the last year's demo, they were like 60. This one there is like another maybe at least 20, and in Nanyuki there is at least 2. Although like I can see the National Police Service, they are publishing another girl too. It is like there was 2. There was James, and there was Julie.
Njoki.
No, Julie Wangoi Karaoke. Okay, now the NPS press release said there was another girl that is Juliet Wangai Karaoke. So when you look at all this, maybe there are like 100 deaths altogether. So these 100 deaths, it means there's 100 rogue policemen or police like police in a group of in a very large number. It is like 180,000 policemen serving in Kenya. Those men, most of them serve diligently. So when we talk about police brutality, we have to understand, like, there is these who serve diligently, and there's a lot of us out here who still do very wrong in our own professions. And for Julie and for and Jemo, it's very sad. It's very sad that we should lose a life, you know. But at the end of the day, every time there is something happening for a change in any nation, anywhere in the world, people die. There's always blood. You know, the tree of freedom is watered by blood, you know. And what we need to do is keep on pushing. That is why we had this demo. And even today, we demonstrated for like 2 days, the day yesterday and the day before yesterday, and still today there's a heavy police presence in Nanyuki, which is still a win, because at the end of the day we are making them like understand and fully understand that we are angry and we are not happy with this. And had there been any other protest around Kenya, it would have even been very bad for them. So the thing is, we have to be very categorical when dealing with the police issue, you know, because like I told you, we need the police, and a few are the ones who are doing it, and they can't be prosecuted. They can't be prosecuted. That is my take on the issue of the police brutality and all that. And to the families, well, okay, the question is not about the families. It's all about the police. I think about the police, I've told you something like.
Yes, you have said something. But see, these families do want justice. But it seems like the system is delaying this justice. So what should the families do, or where should they go to seek this justice? If the justice system itself is delaying the justice they should be getting.
Celine, there can never be justice for the dead people.
Okay.
Not in this life, not in the afterlife.
Why would you say that? Why is that your perspective? Because
someone is dead. They
are dead, but
they shouldn't be dead.
Okay.
They are not dead. They were killed.
Yeah, they were killed. Now their families want justice for their lost, for the person they lost. Well, how should they go about that if the system itself is not producing justice? The other day we were told to wait for the post-mortem results for the young girl that died. But the day that the results are supposed to come, the government itself asked for an extension to give clear results, right? The family felt that this justice is being delayed, and they came out and they protested together with the people who were protesting in Lekki.
100%, because it is their daughter.
Yeah.
And I was in these demos for the 2 days, for the 2 consecutive days. And what I can tell you is, when I tell you there can never be justice, Njoki should not be dead. Njoki could have died a week before or years before, but she was not. She died when she was in the hands of between the police, the courthouse, and the prison. So at the end of the day, Njoki didn't just die, she was killed.
Okay.
And Njoki, it's like, when we are looking at justice for her, it has to be a broad spectrum, like, you know. It's like when you are looking at an issue, you have to be like very broad, because she was in the hands of the police, you know. She was in the hands of the judge at the courthouse, yeah, and the prosecution. She was in prison. She was at the hospital.
So she was in the hands of the people who were supposed to be given us justice.
She was in 4 institutions that are run by the government.
So the judicial system.
It's not it is the police, National Police Service, the judiciary. From the police you go to the judiciary, from the judiciary you go to prison, and then in all of that she still went to the hospital too. So what I'm trying to say is, we cannot ascertain what clearly what happened, because the judge never takes a sick person. They are always like referred back to the police station to be treated. The jail never takes a sick person. They always refuse, and they are like, all right, Your Honor, we want this guy to go back to the police station and be like treated and all that. But there's reports that Njoki was assaulted at the police station.
Okay.
But the magnitude of Njoki's like trauma, that was fatal. It was fatal. You know, it was fatal because she died out of it. So I'm wondering what the big question is. Not even I'm wondering. The big question is, how did it happen? She was hit so bad in the police station, went to the courthouse, went to prison. See, that's a big question. That is the big controversy.
Okay. Now, thank you so much, Bwana Munene. My dear viewers, I believe it's time for us to take a short, brief break, but we will be back.
Umanaganada kuonangana gudi hoye guhoro goku Captain TV tukufagite wega tawega.
Kila siku ya Alhamisi kuanzia saa 2 hadi saa 3 usiku hapa Captain TV tunakuletea wapishi hodari katika Rikore ya Captain. Tunajifunza vidokezo na mbinu za kupika mapishi tofauti na yanayovutia, tujielimishe kupika chakula bora na kilichosawazika. Tunafahamu na kumtambua mpishi wetu wa siku na baadaye tunashiriki chakula pamoja. Haiwezekani wewe kukosa hili. Endelea kutazama Captain TV.
Ni muthenya wa Thursday, thaigerecio tuko nginya thaa 3 goku Captain TV. Captain TV, mwihoko wa rucio.
Ewe munene waita njĩra iria ũgeraga nĩ nyingĩ.
Nĩgũkorwo harĩa andũ erĩ kana atatũ monganĩte thĩinĩ wa rĩtwa rĩakwa rĩ, ngoragwo ndĩho gatagatĩ-inĩ kao. Na ithuĩ gũkũ gwa Captain TV mwĩhoko wa rũciũ nĩtũnganĩte tukagĩa na igongona rĩrĩa tũrĩkoragwo narĩo o mũthenya kana gĩathĩ wa kĩenda o mũthenya wa kiumia kuma thinacara cia rũcinĩ nginya thaa 6 cia mũthenya. Tugoka gũkũ tũgethaithanĩrĩra tũkarĩambaria rĩtwa rĩa Watheru na tũgacoka tũkaingĩra thĩinĩ wa kiugo. Na nĩ kaingĩ mũno mwĩroreri wakwa ngwĩraga kiugo kĩa Ngai nĩkĩo gĩkagĩra magũrũ maitũ hinya wa kũhota kwenderea na thabarĩ ĩno. Tũkera Ngai na nĩkorwo nĩma etĩkĩra gũtũnyita guoko atwarane na ithuĩ. Nani ndereba waku kaniĩ ũrĩa tũrĩkoragwo nawe ngetwo Eunice wa Wanyiki.
Welcome back to the show, and we are yet in this segment of young leadership here at our studios at Captain TV. Kumbuka kwamba unaweza kuwasiliana nasi katika mitandao yetu ya kijamii at Captain TV. Bwana Munene, sisi kama watu wadogo ama sisi kama vijana wa nchi, hii economy ambayo iko katika nchi yetu unaiona aje?
Kama vijana economy ni mbaya, lakini si mbaya sana. So at the end of the day vijana hawana kazi. Tuanzie na hapo. So economy kwa kijana iko very poor.
Okay. Sababu
at the end of the day ukiangalia wale vijana wanatokea kwa barabara wakati wa maandamano ni wengi sana. Hiyo peke yake inafaa kukuambia kitu. Inafaa kukuambia hawa watu economy yao it is very poor. Kijana hana pesa ya kupeleka girlfriend out, hata kununua yeye soda. Hana pesa ya bundles. Na ukienda town, ukienda pale kuna ka hotspot ka wifi, unakuta vijana wamekaa hapo hivyo. Unaona? So at the end of the day, economy on the young people it's very bad. Okay. Then these young people kuna wale nao wanafanya kazi. Kuna mmoja amekona ka business kadogo ameka pahali. Unakuta the incentives kama ni county governments azijale the proper incentive. Alafu unakuta kuna confusion kuna the older politicians these people they want to mislead the young people on the state of the economy. Hawasemi county governments ziko devolved, so the young people should be focusing on the governor and the CECs and the CEOs. You understand? Yeah. So it is like sasa wanakaa kuangalia national government watu wana blame national government sana for even mistakes ambazo si zake. Makosa yenye si ya serikali kuu, yenye makosa ni ya hapa hivyo county government inaekelewa nani? National government. Unakuta kama class prefect akianguka darasa inaanguka. So at the end of the day unakuta kuna mtu kama senator. Senator ni anakuwa county prefect. Ni anafaa kuangalia MPs, angalie women rep, angalie assembly inafanya nini, angalie governor anafanya nini. So at the end of the day unakuta aje watu wote wakifail, economy itakuwa mzuri namna gani? Okay, on the economy kama saizi I'll give you an example. Kama hapa kwetu Laikipia unakuta MCA walienda Zimbabwe wakatumia 39 million and you can see you can imagine just how much is 39 million alafu wameitumia on the very wrong thing kama hata wangekuja wape vijana kitu kama kazi kwa vijana economically vijana wamekuwa empowered, hiyo 39 million ilikuwa fiti. So at the end of the day at Zimbabwe there's nothing to learn from because Zimbabwe is a failed state so nataka kukuonyesha makosa. The very same MCAs kwa assembly, what do they pass? You know, economically when you want to empower the young people, you know they don't have the experience in business and all that. Na hawata wana pesa. So watu ni watu wa kupewa kwanza kibarua ndio yule mjanja a spring from hapo. Okay. Unaona? A spring it will be a springboard for them. Mtu anatoka hapo anaenda ile pesa. Unajua ukipatia watu wawili 500, mmoja atakula, mwingine anaweza invest. Nakuta na mahani kachifa kiuza nini nakuta na kitu akibroke out of ile 500 kuna mtu development oriented economically ako already kuendelea. People are not the very same so unaangalia unaona vijana wamefundishwa na wale older politicians kuangalia nini serikali, alafu wazazi wetu pia wako tu wameshikwa wamebaki huko nyuma kwa wakati, hawatembei na majira. Mambo yakibadilika wazazi hawakujua. Wenye walikuwa ile wakati wa Moi, wenye walikuwa ile wakati ya Kibaki, wakati ile mzee, hawajui tuko kwa katiba nyingine na hawajui tumeingia kwa new dispensation ama wakati mpya ama muhula mpya wa maisha ambapo tuko na hii constitution mpya na tuko na devolution ambapo wazazi kutojua. Ndio maana unaona kama kwa ile finance bill last year alikuwa anaibiwa mashamba hawajui. So economically hata mzazi mwenyewe ajui ni nini inaendelea kwa serikali na hajui kuscrutinize, lakini sisi vijana tu scrutinize. So at the end of the day kama I'm losing this point it was coming. Okay, kama vijana at the end of the day kama assembly ingekuwa inaweza ku legislate. Unajua wakati devolution ilikuja ilimaanisha vitu zifanywe hapa, lakini governor akipeana darasa assembly hiangalii ni contractor wa Nyeri amepewa ama ni wa Marsabit ama ni wa Samburu ama ni wa Laikipia. Sababu devolution inamaanisha hiyo pesa ikuje ifaidi nini the county, the people in that county. Na hapo ndipo kama contractor akipewa hapa ataweza kupewa vijana kazi kama ni ya kutandaza hiyo maram, kama ni ya kuchimba hizo mitaro za drainage, kama ni hiyo kazi kwa vijana kama kanaweza patikana, kama ni kujenga darasa waende wakuwe wapi. Lakini ukileta contractor wa kutoka Nyeri, now you are diverting our money. Pesa yetu umeelekeza county ya Nyeri. Sababu contractor anapeleka wapi pesa wapi? Nyeri, na atakuja na watu wake kutoka wapi? Nyeri. Ukipeana kazi ya hapa kwetu kama ni damu unachimbia ukope contractor wa Thika ama Thika is in Kiambu. Umepewa contractor wa Kiambu. Kwa hivyo pesa yenye ile sahani yetu yenye tungekula umepeleka wapi? Kiambu. So that is ile failure iko wapi? So economically we are not empowered sababu kuna failure from the parents and the older politicians and the church.
The church?
Of course the church.
Why would you include the church there? Mbona useme kwamba kanisa inafanya youth wasikuwe empowered economically?
Sababu kanisa ndio inapora wazazi.
Okay.
Na imepora wazazi kwa muda mrefu sana. Mimi ni millennial.
Okay.
Lakini mzazi wangu kuku alikuwa anapeleka kanisa. Mayai kanisa, miwa kanisa. Wanataka kujenga kanisa na wamejenga kanisa kubwa sana. Alafu kisha wanajengea hiyo kanisa wanaijengea shule. Ukizunguka na Nyuki Town ama Laikipia East, kuna kanisa kubwa sana, very big, ni kama 2-3 stories. Ghorofa kama 4-5 ama ghorofa 3-4. Alafu wamejengewa nini? Kanisa. Na mshirika mwenyewe hazisomeshia mtoto wapi? Ile school fees inaitishwa huko. So inaenda ni watoto wengine wa kutoka kaunti zingine wanakuja kusomea wapi? Na watoto hata dini zingine. So wazazi inaonyeshana na public schools zinaporomoka tu. Hawa wazazi hata library hawataki kujenga. Wazazi wetu bako na ile nimekwambia hawatembei na majira. Unajua hata Mungu hapendi watoto wajinga, lakini wazazi wetu wanapenda watoto wajinga sana. Sababu at the end of the day unakuta huyo mzazi amefanya hivyo vyote kwa jina la Mungu. Lakini mwenye ako pale hivyo ana receive hiyo pesa anatupeleka na njia nyingine. Kwa hivyo wazazi wetu kama wangeshikana, hata si wangeshikana, hata wasishikane, the first picha ya kwanza ni kuonyesha ati wazazi kulingana na zile kanisa wamejenga, hata university wako na uwezo wa kujenga. Wako na uwezo wa kujenga nini? Hata university, na tungekuwa saa hizi tunasoma. Watoto wetu wanafaa kuwa university, hatufai kuwa tunalilia serikali tujenge university. Hapana. Our own parents, they have the financial capability to do.
Okay.
Sababu ukiangalia hizo mashule zote na hizo makanisa, if you combine them, hiyo ni university. Na mpaka sasa hizi ziko na walimu, kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha wazazi wetu wanaweza jenga hiyo university na wasomeshe watoto.
Unajua tukirudi hapa kwenye economy, kuna deni ambayo tumekuwa tukilipa for the longest time, ama kuna deni ambayo wananchi wamekuwa kilipa imekuwa ikikatwa kwa tax for the longest time. Kuna ya China, kuna nyingi sana. Na pia kuna the fact that a lot of public schools, especially universities, are complaining that they are broke. What's your take on that?
My take on that is like people don't understand how the earth or the world runs. The world runs on a debt.
Okay.
So when someone says we are in debt, we are not actually in a debt. We are in debt, yes, but America is like $39 trillion in debt.
Okay.
China is like over 20-something trillion dollars in debt. I'm talking now about trillions of dollars, yeah. Japan, the greatest car manufacturer and a lot of even tech, they are neck deep in debt. So the world runs on debt, but you have to understand who is this debt owed to.
Okay.
Like so, the America owes China, China owes America, Italy owes UK, UK owns China, Italy, and all that. So Kenya owes who? They also owe Kenya, you know. So it is like it is a web. So until you broaden your mind enough and you want to like absorb info, and when you want to be an independent scholar and go and get the workings of any given country on earth, we run on a debt because it is not about governments anymore. It is all about corporations.
Okay. Well, to take you back on my question, we have public universities claiming they are broke. Is that on the government or on the economy? You know, like the government may or may not be. You know, like when I say they are saying they are broke, hiyo ni shida kwenye serikali ama ni economy, uchumi ambayo imeharibika?
Uchumi na universities zingiani pahali.
Kwa hivyo ni serikali.
Si serikali.
Shule ni public.
Exactly, but management. Sasa kama in the case of Moi University, hao watu walienda akasema aje wataka mtu wetu kwa shule. You know, watu wasa wafikiri. Huyo mtu anafikiria kuhusu mtu wetu at the expense of their kids education. We are talking about an education here. Tunaongea kuhusu masomo na kuhusu mtoto mwenye anaweza kuja asome na akue na kitu ya kumfaidi. Wewe umekuja umesema mtu wetu. Mtu wao vile aliwekwa hapo, alikuta shule ikiwa na matingatinga, alimaliza na punda. Ndio zinalima hiyo shamba. Akasema tingatinga zinakunywa mafuta. So you understand?
Yeah.
These people, when you give the wrong person the wrong position, now you are done.
So you're saying there's a lot of mismanagement of funds?
100%, like it is in the government. So in the, it is monkey see, monkey do. So whatever the government is doing, like looting and stealing every day, like you remember the last president Uhuru Kenyatta said that in Kenya we lose, like he was losing, like as a president, which is very painful to admit for him. He was losing 2 billion a day. So 2 billion a day. So it was, that is around 700 and how many? And 24 billion in a year. That's nearly a trillion shills. So it is like virtually everyone is looting from wherever they are. So
according to you, how do we solve this mismanagement of funds, mismanagement of anything that comes from the government in these institutions? For example, how do you suggest that counties, for example, handle the funds given to them by the national government?
How do we like stop this?
Yeah, how do we handle it to make sure that we curb mismanagement of funds?
It all boils down to the youth. The youth of today, they said, you don't know what the youth of today may say. And what they said last year is they don't want that finance governors, CCMs, CEOs, MPs, women reps. They don't want people who are like acting down, since they are doing all the most vile things that can ever be done and perpetrated to other people. So it all boils down to how many bank accounts do we have. There's been like cases of some hospitals like being like they have their own bank accounts. So at the end of the day, when we follow up, if we follow up and hold someone accountable and let them realize that though they play dumb, we are not dumb, because they try to make us like I told you, monkey see, monkey do. When they play dumb and they are like bonus if you will, that is when we are like, okay, he may not be doing it.
There's this issue of the youth going for you. Why is that?
Because of the parents.
The parents.
Yeah. Our parents are gullible.
Okay.
Our parents did not create an environment to do a lot. So at the end of the day, even engine blocks and all these things, kids should come out of the university when they know how to make things like this.
Okay, but Munene, I'm going to cut you short on that.
Yes, please.
I'm being told that my time is up. So, my dear viewers, we'll be right back after the break.
nĩ gũkorwo harĩa andũ erĩ kana atatũ monganĩte thĩinĩ wa rĩtwa rĩakwa-rĩ, ngoragwo ndĩho gatagatĩ-inĩ kao. Na ithuĩ gũkũ gwa Captain TV mwĩhoko wa rũciũ nĩtũnganĩte tũkagĩa na igongona rĩrĩa tũrĩkoragwo narĩo o mũthenya kana gĩathĩ wa kĩenda o mũthenya wa kiumia kuma thinacara cia rũcinĩ nginya thaa thita cia mũthenya. Tũgoka gũkũ tũgethaithanĩrĩra tũkarĩambaria rĩtwa rĩa Watheru na tũgacoka tũkaingĩra thĩinĩ wa kiugo. Na nĩ kaingĩ mũno mwĩroreri wakwa ngwĩraga kiugo kĩa Ngai nĩkĩo gĩkagĩra magũrũ maitũ hinya wa kũhota kwenderea na thabarĩ ĩno. Tũkera Ngai na rĩkorwo nĩma etĩkĩra gũtũnyita guoko atwarane na ithuĩ. Naniĩ ndereba waku kaniĩ ũrĩa tũrĩkoragwo nawe ngetwo Eunice wa Wanyiki.
Mirori ya riũa ĩtanariũka tũrĩkoragwo tũikarĩire njũng'wa tũkarika thĩinĩ wa ngathĩti tũgacimũrĩka gũcitaũra nginya ũgataũkwo. Na tondũ kĩmenyio mwenda toire tũgathondeka ndaraca ya we mwĩroreri kũgwatanĩra hamwe na ataaramu a maũndũ ngũrani. Nĩ wa mwambĩrĩrio nginya wa gatano thinacara nginya thaa 4 cia kĩroko.
Karibu tena mpenzi mtazamaji Captain TV katika Youth ama ukipenda ujana wetu. Ninaona kwamba mmeweza kuwasiliana nasi kwenye mitandao yetu na mtaweza kuwa nao Masi kutoka Elbagon, Lamarel kutoka Rumoroti, Marrakesh kutoka Meru, Chris Kiongozi kutoka Nanyuki. Tunapokea salamu zenu na tunatoka kwa Jacinta kutoka Nanyuki. Anauliza, this time unasimama kiti gani?
Nasimama kiti cha senator.
Senator. Kuna semekana kwamba ulikuwa umejaribu kuvai before.
Mara mbili.
What was your experience?
Bittersweet. Because when you lose, it's bitter. These people, they got different problems, like, and then you get to learn like what kind of help would these people need. So kwa vivyo kama mwananchi, kama ujijaribu kwenda kutangamana na wananchi.
Kwa hivyo kwa ufupi unasema kwamba katika mwaka wa 2027 utakuwa kwenye debe
nikiwania useneta.
Kama wewe kwa kijana ama mwana youth, you are of course one of the many other young people who are going to be running. Vijana wanaona kwamba they need to stand up for themselves.
Limitations of my generation, you know, we all have limitations in certain generations. People who are born like every 10 years, they have certain limitations. So when we look at the Gen Zs, they have all the best things that we never had. They like grew up with phones in their hands when they had to tururu before the button, that is the katururu. These people have proper smartphones. I was like around 17 years old. But this one started with this, and later, but our parents, they never even had that opportunity. So they had the desktops, whereby by even the year 2000, there is limitations of a certain generation. So I'm very much aware of our parents and their limitations, on these limitations, to make them like an advantage, like. And it is not more about what I can do for them, but what I can say and that resonates with them, so that they also have that motivation to change.
You know, like when you get that seat, the senatorial seat, what are you going to do that is different?
100%. What I'll do is I'll be going after the governor. I'll go after the member of parliaments. We have 3, like Ipia East, West, and North, and I'll go after the women rep. And I'll also know who is the contractor around here, who was awarded that contract, how much it was paid for. Like I'll give you a case scenario. The governor between 2013 and 2017, the first governor, and the MP that time, you know. So when you go onto their BQ, there is like the very same ECDE classroom awarded by the both. So you don't actually know who built it, like. So there is like conflict of interest. The senator then never checked. Sorry to say, he's late, and may God keep him in a nice place up there. But at the end of the day, even the present senator that we have, he's not like checking on what these people are doing. Like these people have a lot of projects, government funded. Like I'll give you a case scenario. If the senator was like active right now, we would have our MCA spending 39 million shillings going to Zimbabwe. He should have called them to the Senate, disputed that, said that was not a priority, and like found a way to like make them channel the money somewhere else, and also go and be listening to whatever they are discussing in the assembly. You know, there's the civilians pavilion, the public pavilion, where you can go and listen to the proceedings. I'll make sure I'm like doing that. I'll make sure I know like the government works. Like, are they like how would I say, are they balancing like the job on the ground and the money used, you see? So because that is what I should do, oversight. You know, even if I go ask for too much money, before I go to ask for too much money, can we first of all manage the small money that is there already? Because even there's no small money or big money, so can we first of all manage this? So that is my only difference, like, so I'll be like doing my work like diligently, nothing more.
Benson Munene, we are, as a country and as a nation itself, we are at a state of disorder. According to you, or in your own perspective, what do you think needs to be done to retain the order, or to bring back the order that was there before this whole protest and demonstrations happening?
I would say I've been around long enough to have seen like all the four presidents, right? I've seen the Moi era, I've seen Kibaki era, and I have seen like Uhuru era, and now this era of President William Ruto. Like I told you, self-determination, self-awareness, and limitations of a certain generation. I would tell you that people may think it's very bad, but I promise you, back in those years, we didn't have even a tarmac in Nanyuki town. We didn't have this kind of businesses. By the way, Nanyuki town, like, or like Ipia town, just like sprang up recently. Even Nairobi has been growing more, like tremendously for the last few years. So what I can say is, it's not very bad per se, but there needs improvement, yeah? And hypocrisy, if the leadership is not that hypocritical, and the failure by a little bit older generation, like the older generation, our parents, and then the millennials, these people, they are falling so much into politics, because the oppressor, if we know there's an oppressor, he wouldn't be so powerful if he didn't have accomplices amongst us, you know. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what we are doing as ourselves. Before you place the blame on someone else, let us understand that we have already failed ourselves. So it is like, what I believe in is like, take the blame first. Be responsible first before you place the blame squarely on another person. Like.
Yes, okay. Well, I would like for you to tell the youths out there something you want them to hear and something you want them to listen to.
To the youths, I would like to tell them that nothing comes easy. Life is very hard, and most of the youths, they are living the donkey years. The donkey years are from the age of 22 years old to 28 years old. You have not even figured yourself out. Like, you have not like cut a clear path for yourself. Things are not like laying like properly ahead of you, because like you've just come from a few stages. You are a toddler, you became a child, you became a young person, then you became a teenager, and now you are trying to make it. You have been into high school and schooling, and maybe the universities or the college. Now you want it to work for you, but you have not figured out yet how to make money. So this is the worst stage. That is why it is called the donkey's years for any young person everywhere in the world. You have not figured out what to do. You do not know how things work. You don't know the workings of the world out here. So what I can say, I would urge patience, and I would also like to tell you that out of the limitations of a generation, any given generation, you have your limitation in job opportunities. We don't have it. It's not there. So we are trying to create it. It is me and you. So it is like, once you realize that there's that limitation, you don't force things. You don't say that, okay, I want a job tomorrow. I want a job tomorrow. Where are they going to get this job? You used to have parents, and at the end of the day, even when we are like, okay, we want to demonstrate for something, and then we go like destroying, we are not this generation that goes out destroying. We are this generation that wants to improve. And if you want to improve, you don't improve by destroying something that is already there. Like, for example, I'll tell you about the tarmac. We didn't have much tarmac back 20 years ago. Now we have these tarmacs. We didn't have so many like job opportunities back like 10, 15 years ago. Now we have them. So the country is improving, and what you ought to do is take charge in improving it. If you find a tarmac, don't burn it, because when you burn it, it means that we cannot like even build another one, another good thing. Like, there's no point of destroying to prove a point that you want something better. You cannot destroy these as you want.
Thank you so much. I believe they have heard from you. And it has been a pleasure hosting you. My dear viewers, this has been Benson Munene. Thank you for coming. And that will be all from me here at Captain TV. Till next time, bye.
Nĩ mũthia wa wiki twaingĩra mũthenya wa Sunday shifi gũkũ Captain TV tũigaga Ngai mbere maũndũ-inĩ mothe tũkamwambararia kuma thaa 1 ya kĩroko nginya thaa 5 thaa 5 nginya thaa 9 tũkamũkumia gĩgatoreki. Thaa 9 nginya thaa 1 tũgakũihũrĩra cama wa gatene.